Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today we're going to be talking about all of the upcoming Marvel movie and TV shows. Those have been confirmed and those that have been rumored. But while we do it, we are just going to spin that identity politics game because we are CNET. And not only do we cover movies, but we also cover identity politics because that is just what we do now at CNET, apparently. So anyway, I was reading this article just by myself just because I wanted to see what other movies were in the pipe, what other TV shows were being confirmed, what rumors are out there, just because I'm generally interested in the MCU. And I started reading this article because, CNET should be fine. CNET's just going to stick to the facts. It's not going to try and do anything. Oh, well, I was wrong. Because CNET, even though it does really great coverage of tech and cell phones and wearables and all that other stuff, when it comes to their coverage of pop culture and everything else, they are no better than a BuzzFeed Vox or anything else, it seems, at least based on what I read, especially in this first paragraph. So it says, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the MCU, is the most successful film franchise of all time, and despite the fact that Marvel Studios will soon release its 21st film, 2019 could eclipse last year in terms not only of box office take, but cultural impact as well. Although it will be difficult for anything to match the impact Black Panther had in 2018. Yes, because cultural impact is what is now most important. I mean, seriously, like, this again goes to show you why Black Panther had a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not because it was the best movie of all time. It was because it pandered to these crazy intellectual types who are like, oh my gosh, diversity, oh my gosh. It's like, okay, diversity is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if that is the narrative that you're running with, if that is the most important part of a movie, if that is, in your mind, what makes a movie good and makes it the best MCU film of all time, I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with you. Anyway, so just based on that first paragraph, you already know it's going to be good because, oh my gosh, the cultural impact 2019 could reach the same milestone. Maybe not as much so as Black Panther, but it'll still reach it nonetheless. And why is that the case? Well, just look at the first movie coming out this year, Captain Marvel, on March 8th, Marvel's first female-led full-length film. Oh my gosh. Just once again, a reminder. Oh my god, did y'all realize she's a female? It's like, she's a hero. That's all that we care about, is that she's a hero. Let her have a good character arc, let her have a good story, and leave it at that. Why is it that every day you have to remind her? We know. We're not blind. And even if we were blind, I guarantee you that the descriptions would be perfectly, capable enough for everyone to understand exactly what's going on and who she is as a character. But no, every single article, every single damn time they have to talk about it, they have to say, oh, don't forget, guys, it's the first female-led film. Oh, it's the first female-led film. Oh, it's the first female. It's like, just let it go. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Avengers Endgame on April 26th. The real culmination of a decade plus building its storyline over 22 films. I mean, yeah, it is the culmination. Infinity War was the beginning of it. We already knew that was going to be part one of a part two, of a two-part story. We didn't know exactly what the second movie was going to be called or what the ramifications were going to be, but we already knew that it was going to be, two parts. I don't know why they're acting like it's just some new thing. And then Spider-Man Far From Home on July 5th, the first glimpse at what a post-Avengers Endgame MCU will look like with the returning cast from the very successful first outing. And this is kind of where I'm still in that speculation business, just because at this point, the first trailer, in my opinion, doesn't really clarify whether it takes place before or after the events of Infinity War, which I think is very, very interesting. Now, of course, if I had to bet money on it, I would say, oh, it's post-Endgame, no doubt in my mind. But I think that because the trailer is kind of keeping things close to the chest, not revealing a whole lot, some people don't like that. I personally do, because it means I can see this trailer, be excited for the next Spider-Man film, but also at the same time not really have to think about too much. Some people are, of course, because they're just seeing this as, oh, well, obviously Spider-Man's alive. It's like, yeah, but even though he likely is, and I'm not trying to say that he's not, it still seems to indicate that this very well is not necessarily, or rather, this very well could potentially be a film story that takes place before the events of Infinity War and therefore would not be post-Endgame. That's just my own thought. Could very much be totally wrong on that, and we will find out when further trailers come out. And of course, when Endgame comes out, that's when we'll truly know for sure what is actually going on. But still, it's something worth talking about. See, that would be something that would be interesting to talk about. That would be something that would be like, oh, go ahead, CNET, go down that rabbit hole. Go ahead and talk about that. But instead, what would they rather do? Oh no, the cultural impact of 2019 could be as impactful as 2018, but maybe not as impactful because don't forget Black Panther came out last year. We must never forget about that film because it's going to get nominated for the Oscars because. And then, of course, you have to ask him, okay, so are you saying that Black Panther deserves to be nominated for an Oscar? Of course it does. Why? Oh, because it's an amazing film. Really? You're saying, okay, so are you saying therefore that it is better than Infinity War? That it is better than, and then just list off the MCU films? Oh, and then you say, okay, so then why should this be nominated? Oh, because of the cultural impact. And in there you get the full reason and the full explanation as to why that film got 96% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I'm sorry. We're not stupid. We're not ignorant. We know exactly what goes into y'all's mindset. And so therefore, it's just, so when we have articles like this from CNET of all places, again, CNET, this is not a Vox, this is not a Scott Mendelson or anything like that. This is coming from CNET. The fact that we're getting this kind of stuff, it kind of makes it very clear to us that, okay, so this is pretty much just common knowledge. And, you know, at this point, it's very easy to pick apart everything that you say because it's very easy to say and tell when you're being just total asshats about everything. Anyway, that's what we know for sure. We don't know yet is exactly coming after the next Spider-Man movie, as Marvel has yet to officially announce its next slate. We know the dates for the next few Marvel films will debut, but not which films will be attached to those dates. And again, I think that means they are playing this game very, very well. As I said before, the only film that we have officially announced at this point, other than Captain Marvel and Endgame, is Spider-Man Far From Home, and that first trailer does not confirm that it takes place after the events of Infinity War. Now, as I said before, I believe it does. I believe that this is post-Endgame time, but the fact that the trailer isn't indicating that, at least not nearly as clearly as it possibly could, because there's no direct references to it, there's no anything like that, I think is an interesting concept. Still, interesting concept nonetheless. So what are some things that we do have to look forward to? Of course, the first movie listed. Oh, the first movie listed. Well, the first movie we had to be excited about is this one. It's unclear whether the Black Widow movie will be a prequel or a sequel. But let's talk about, oh my gosh, the first time. It's like, okay, speaking of movies, this probably should have been the first character to get her own individual film, saying that she's been with the Avengers from the very beginning. She's been a part of the MCU from the very beginning. But no, let's just go ahead and give it to a character that has been changed so many times and has become so woke in Marvel Comics, because that's obviously the direction that we want to go, as Kevin Feige has said. Oh, man. So can't really say I'm excited for that. Doctor Strange sequel, I like the first one. First one was okay. Pretty excited for it. Eternals, don't really know much about it. So, you know, it's still MCU, so it should be good. The Shang-Chi one, that's right. Because this one still, once again, and if all goes to plan, Shang-Chi will be the first ever Asian lead character in a Marvel Studios film. Why are these idiots? Why are these NPCs? Why are these liberal elites so obsessed with race and gender? Why can't it just be, this could be one of the greatest films to date? That could be cool. That could be something they could talk about. But no, what is the leading thing here? Oh, Asian. What is the leading thing with this film? Oh, woman. What was the leading thing with Black Panther? Oh, the first time ever. When you start to go down that game, when you start to play and go down that rabbit hole of identity politics, and that starts to define not only what movies that you like, but also what movies you believe should be made, then we move into this world where a movie will be judged, and critics are already doing this, by how woke it is. And by that, what do I mean is, does it check off all the boxes? Is there diversity? Check. Boom. Therefore, that's quality of a good movie. Does it have this? Does it have that? And again, just go off the checklist. And if films don't do that, if films cover maybe a period in history or anything like that, guess what? Oh no, you can't be good because now no longer do you fit these categories. That's the danger that we're going down. That is the danger of this kind of thinking going down the line. And of course, we have the Black Panther sequel, which, as I said before, it's a B movie. I give it a B-. It was okay. It's not the greatest movie ever. It's not the second coming of Christ when it comes to movies. It's not a movie that should be nominated for an Oscar. Yet, here we are, where it's already gotten nominated for some of the precursors, including Best Ensemble, which, I'm sorry, but last time I checked, no superhero film ever, to my knowledge, deserves to have a Best Ensemble SAG nominate. I'm just like, even The Dark Knight, as much as I love that movie, I wouldn't give that Best Ensemble. Again, there's great characters in there, there's great actors in there, but other than Heath Ledger, there's really no one else in there that I would really think deserves to get that kind of official recognition. Same thing with Black Panther. Can you name one person that gives an amazing performance? I mean, they're fine. They're all solid performances. They're good actors. But if you're trying to say that, oh, they deserve it because of, well, there you go. That's all. that's all that you need to say. But you're not going to say that, because that would just be too on the nose. Even though we can just totally see it and we can totally see you for what you are, you still just act in complete ignorance. Anyway, we also got the Vision and Scarlet Witch TV series, the Loki TV series, the Bucky and Falcon TV series, Hawkeye, and potentially also, we have, so that status is confirmed by the Bucky and Larson. So Bucky Larson. Oh my God. So guys, if you want to see one of the greatest movies of all time, Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star, So bad, so funny. But Bucky and Falcon buddy cop film that we're probably end up getting coming on the Disney Plus streaming network. And then things that have not been confirmed yet would be Hawkeye or Lady Sif. So when it comes to Hawkeye, I think he's a character that could probably do well in a series. I think that it would be a really cool thing to have a series, which I'm glad that he's in. He seems at least to be in this category. The Lady Sif one, even though I love Asgard and I would love to see a story take place in Asgard, because she's only, her only real essentially real film was the first Thor. Second Thor, she was barely in it. She wasn't even in Thor Ragnarok. I don't really know if this is the character that you want to focus on. If you want to be honest, if you want to get a show on the Disney streaming service that would actually probably get me to buy this Disney streaming service, and it was focused on this world, on Asgard, tell me a solo movie about Heimdall. Because if you can get Idris Elba in there, and Idris Elba is Heimdall, and you do a story about an origin story of his, or anything else about his adventures, boom, I would be sold. What are y'all's thoughts? Do y'all think that y'all would like to see a Heimdall movie or series? I think that would better work as a series personally, but I would take that over this. I mean, again, people are going to say, oh, it should be this because, she's a woman and therefore, it's like, no, just stop, all right? Your wokeness is showing, and most general audiences don't really care and don't really want to see that. But guys, what are y'all's thoughts on this? I honestly don't understand why they have to do this. Why they can't just tell us what's going on. Why they can't just list off the movies. Instead, it's got to be, oh, not only do we have to say this, now we have to make our own commentary about it as well. And again, some people might say, oh, I'm overreacting. But at the end of the day, I just don't understand what the cultural impact of a movie has to do with whether a movie is good or not. I just think that's silly. And the fact that Captain Marvel is going in that same trend, where even more so, I would say, than Black Panther, because Black Panther was definitely the media around it, wasn't really the film itself. Captain Marvel, though, it could be the actual movie itself, for all we know. I mean, with Brie Larson especially behind the behind the character, would not be surprised. But guys, I would love to hear your thoughts. Are you excited for any of these movies going on? What are y'all's thoughts about my speculation with Spider-Man? Again, I think that it's worth talking about. At least, maybe I missed something. There could be something. I've only seen the trailer once, so there very well could be something that clarifies that it is actually post-Endgame. But I don't know what it is. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. If you like this video, smash that like button, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a great day, and as always, God bless.